That is the lobby code, just so you can join my lobby.
Okay. Multiplayer.
I've gathered a list of other hunters asking for help.
Join private game? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Level 109?
I've played quite a bit.
Holy shit, dude.
Okay,
Alright.
so don't feel like you need to add anything to the bag. I brought more than enough gear, and we'll just play amateur, and I'll like teach you how it works. So, one thing before we do start. So, in this game, your mic is permanently open to the ghost.
So it
So
can
anything you
hear.
say, even if you aren't doing chat, it can hear, and that will give away your position. That will make it angry at you. So you generally don't want to talk.
How
Additionally,
sensitive is it?
the mic,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever you have it set to, right?
Oh. I might have to like turn it down because there's background noise.
Well, as long as you have like noise squelch, it should be fine, right?
Alright, we'll see.
Um,
I could
so
always
I
unplug
don't
it.
know if your key bindings are going to be different, but the way I think I have them, which I think is default, it's push to talk for both, and V is like proximity chat around your person, and B is like radio comms chat, so everyone can hear you in the lobby.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself in the call just so we can use in-game comms. I recommend you do the same.
Alright.
And just hit ready, and then we'll go.
Alright, we're here.
All right, can you hear me?
The equipment and prepare
Yeah.
accordingly before we start the
Can you hear me?
investigation.
Yeah, you're coming through good. And now go ahead and test to see if B is your global. This is what global sounds like.
Yeah, should be.
Cool. Okay, so a couple of things to know. So here in the truck, this board gives you info about like, so it gives you the name. If you say the ghost's name, it can aggravate them. Tells you the kinds of people they respond to. It'll also show any pictures that you take with a photo camera here, as well as 3 additional optional objectives that will earn you extra money if you can complete them.
Okay.
So then this over here, these 4 screens, all give different readouts. This first one is the map. When people are inside the house, you can see them on the map. It will also show you the position, direction of cameras, and other various sensors you can set up. Team sanity. Again, I told you about the sanity level. The longer you are in the house, the longer you are in the dark, especially, and anytime you encounter paranormal activity, your sanity will drop. If it drops below 50% average sanity for the team, not individual, but average sanity gets to 50% or lower, for most ghosts, with a few notable exceptions, is the threshold at which the ghost will become able to hunt and kill you.
Ah. Very fun.
Total activity tells how much the ghost is like active and doing stuff. 10 often means that the ghost is manifesting somehow, whether that's like an event or a hunt. Other various levels correspond to some specific activities, but you don't need to know that. The higher it is, the more the ghost is doing. And then the sound sensor's display will become active if you set up a sound sensor. Then the computer. The computer here, if you hit the keyboard, it toggles night vision. If you hit the mouse, it'll toggle between different cameras. Currently, only one is set up. If we set up more cameras, we can come back to the truck and watch them. So now we'll talk about different pieces of gear and the journal. So hit J to open up your journal. Now in the journal, a couple of useful areas that you'll need to look at more than others is evidence and ghosts. So evidence, you'll see at the top, there's seven different kinds of evidence, and then there's like a couple dozen different ghosts. So if you start clicking on the different evidences, you can either check it, like X through the box, like, yes, we got a positive read for this type of evidence, or you can click it again to cross it out to say, we've ruled out this evidence as impossible. And you'll see that it affects the ghosts available on the list. When you think you know what kind of ghost you have, which is generally after you find 3 pieces of evidence, then you just click on the ghost to circle it in your book, and that's how you claim the points when we extract at the end. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so then our different pieces of equipment here correspond to the different types of evidence. So this first one right here that I've picked up and I'm holding, I'll drop it here on the ground for you, is the EMF reader. When it's in your hand, if you right-click, it'll turn it on. And right-click is like toggle power. So the EMF reader has a baseline rating of 1 and a maximum of 5. When you're near various paranormal activities, you may pick up an EMF reading. So they do correspond to a few different things at specific levels, but we can talk about that later. The only one that counts as evidence is if you get EMF level 5, which is the max. And to pick that up, 2 things have to be true. A, you have to be standing like right next to the ghost. And B, the ghost has to produce EMF 5 evidence, right? If you're going after a ghost type that doesn't produce EMF 5, it will never give you EMF 5, right? The max you could pick up is 4. And then 2 and 3 tend to correspond to like when they touch stuff in the environment, like flicking light switches and moving doors and stuff. So that's the first piece. The second one that you'll want to know is this glow stick here, as well as this torch. So both of those fulfill the same job, they just do it slightly differently. The glow stick lights up the whole room very faintly, but the UV torch will light up a spot, like really nicely. You use the UV tech to pick up fingerprints. If the ghost touches something and it leaves fingerprints, chances are you'll be able to detect it with a UV. Pretty simple. Next up is ghost writing, which you get using this book here. When you set up the book in the environment, the ghost will, if it produces evidence, eventually write in the book. So once we find the ghost room, which I'll tell you about in a minute, we'll want to set that up right away so it has a chance to write in it if it's going to. Next up is freezing temperatures. So there's 2 ways to tell if there's freezing temps. First of all, there's a thermometer that we can use. You just simply pick it up, right-click to turn it on, and it'll tell you the temp. If it ever gets below freezing, it's freezing temps. Also, if it's freezing temps, you'll be able to see your breath. Next up is the dots projector, which is these 2 guys right here. Both of them are individual dots projectors. It essentially shoots out like a light grid across the room, and ghosts that produce dots projector evidence, you'll be able to see their bodies walk through the light grid. It's pretty spooky.
Oh god, this sounds scary.
The next one is ghost orbs. Ghost orbs only appear on camera. So we do have some cameras and tripods here that we can set up, and all cameras you set up feed back to this computer here. So ghost orbs will only appear on camera. They're much, much, much easier to see in night vision mode, and they appear just as little specks, little dots of light on the camera that float erratically, like up and down instead of just straight down like a snowflake. They'll float around and be distinctive. So that's ghost orbs. And then the spirit box is the creepiest one. It's this bastard here. So the way you use it is you have to turn it on, and it sweeps frequencies. And then you hold the proximity chat button and talk to the ghost. So it only works if you're in the room with the ghost, alone with the lights off.
Oh god.
And then the ghost will be able to talk to you. So you'll use the box to ask it questions.
That's
now,
fucking awful.
Only some ghosts actually interact with the spirit box. So if you ask it a bunch of questions and it never responds, there's a good chance it doesn't do that evidence, right? But you have to try and figure it out. So those are the 7 different pieces of evidence and the equipment that corresponds to them. There's a couple other pieces around that are useful.
I want to
First
know
of
what
all,
this cross
flashlight.
does.
Oh, we'll talk about that. So flashlights are nice for obvious reasons. They give you light. The crucifixes, when you set them down in a room, just like on the floor, it creates an area around it, I believe, that is 3 feet in radius around the crucifix, that if the
Could you give me
ghost
one too,
attempts
please?
to hunt in that radius, it will cancel the hunt.
Actually,
So it
never
can
mind.
save your
Never mind.
life.
There you go.
But they are consumable. Each crucifix can only trigger twice before it is permanently broken and no longer works.
I thought I was out.
Also, there's these mics here. Those are sound sensors. You can see the board there. You set them down, big area around them, detects noise. It can help you figure out where the ghost is at. Salt has 3 charges. You can drop those charges on the ground. Ghosts will walk through salt and leave a footprint. Once again, that helps you figure out where the ghost is, what the ghost is doing. Then we have over here on the far end, these pill bottles are sanity pills. If you consume them, it gives you back some sanity. Then we have the smudge sticks and the candle, both of which you need the lighter to use. So lighters can light candles, of course, which we have a candle here, and there's candles inside the house. They're good for light because sometimes the ghost will like kill the breaker in the house, so you can't turn on the lights, and that's a good way to have light still around. Then smudge sticks, if you light them with your lighter, they'll smoke for a couple of seconds, and if the smoke hits the ghost, it like slows it down and keeps it from killing you. So it's useful to have on you if the ghost is pretty pissed. So that's a quick rundown of all the gear. Because we're playing on amateur mode, the ghost is going to be really tame, and we also have that 5-minute timer you can see by the computer. Once I open up the truck bay, that timer will start. The ghost cannot do anything spooky until those 5 minutes are up. So it gives us time to kind of figure out what room the ghost is in, get
And,
some
like, set
gear set
cameras
up. Yeah, helps us out a lot. So a couple things about just like general ghost hunting. You can have 3 items in your bag at any given time. So I recommend you pick up a flashlight. That one's the weak flashlight. I had the strong one earlier. I'll drop the strong one so you can have it.
All right.
So I just
What
dropped it on
button
the
is it
floor.
to
Go
put it
ahead and
back?
drop. I don't know what it is bound to for you because I know I rebound mine.
I pressed Q. Okay, give me 1 sec.
Well, Q puts it into your backpack, right? So Q is how you cycle between different ones.
Okay, it's G.
Okay, cool.
What a stupid drop key.
I rebound mine to R. Yeah, like I
Yeah, that's a
don't
good
play
idea.
like that. And then another controls thing. So the like main functionality of an item, and that varies what it is like right click. Left click is how you interact with the environment. So like left click and hold is how you'll like move a door around, opening and shutting doors. F is the secondary function of items. A lot of items don't have a secondary function, but some of them will, and that's how you use it. I think it's pre-bound to F.
Okay.
So
Do I need
this
a
is on an easy
tripod
mode.
with the camera?
No, you can set a camera directly on the environment, and it'll still work, but tripods just give you more places you can put them, right?
Okay, what else should I bring with?
I encourage you to bring a flashlight, the thermometer, and the EMF reader. So another thing about all ghosts in general, the room the ghost is in, even if it doesn't produce freezing temperatures, will be colder than the rest of the house. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to turn on the generator, and then you can start using the thermometer to try and find the coldest room, because that is the room the ghost is in. Make sense?
Okay. Can I change it? Can I change it to Fahrenheit?
Yes, you can in the settings menu.
Game. God, what an American thing to say.
L.
Yeah. Alright, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Alright, fuck it.
So I'm gonna go do a couple side questy things, and I'll tell you what I'm doing as I do it.
Okay,
You
should I
feel
just
free to
follow
start
you
just
for
running
now?
around the house. What?
Okay, and run around the house and do what?
Thermometer. Try and find the coldest
Okay,
room.
gotcha.
So because we're on beginner mode, the generator starts on, so you can interact with lights.
Okay.
Yeah. So, another thing about ghost hunting is every map spawns with a cursed object. There's 6 different cursed objects, and they all do different things. I just found this house's cursed object. Come over here. It is the cursed mirror, that guy.
Okay, what do we do with it?
It is optional. You do not have to interact with it. If you want to, you can pick it up in your hands and then right-click to look into the mirror, and it will show you briefly like images of the room that the ghost is in. So it'll tell you where the ghost is, but every second you look into the mirror rapidly drains your sanity. Like we're talking like 20% a second.
Okay.
And if you use it for 5 straight seconds, it immediately triggers a ghost hunt.
Okay.
So, especially because we're on beginner mode, I encourage you not to fuck with it, at least not until we know what the ghost is and you just want to use it for fun. And do listen. You'll hear, like, ghostly footsteps and stuff that can help you figure out where it is.
Oh my god. Oh shit, there's a basement too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh god. Alright, it's definitely gonna be down there.
So the generator is here in the garage in case we need it later, in case the ghost turns it off.
Okay. Alright, I don't
So have you found
see it.
any cold rooms yet?
No, they all seem to be like 70.
Okay, that's oh, that light just turned itself on, I think. Yup. Light is fucking with itself in this kid's room.
Oh, I think we're down. It says 62, and the rest of the house is basically 62.
I mean, you saw that, right?
I did not know. Did you just?
Yeah, I
do
thought I
that?
saw the light change itself. I did that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see that. Oh, it's in the bathroom. It's 37 in here. Oh, it's not in here anymore. It went up to 60, so it was in here. In here again, 39.
Okay, let's check the nursery. Oh, look. It pushed this picture off.
Ah. So yeah, definitely around here. No, this nursery is around 64 degrees. I think it's the bathroom 100%. Yep. 33 as soon as you walk in.
Okay, I'm setting up a camera.
This ghost is taking a spooky dookie.
She really said it.
That was awful. I'm sorry.
So I've just set up the Oh, brown water.
Uh-oh. What does that mean? It's in here?
Means the ghost is in the room, yeah.
Ah.
So I'm just gonna set... Oh. What level?
The green one. Second one. So nothing.
Okay. Yeah, level 2 means that... Oh, did I just see our breath?
Yeah, it's below freezing. 26.
Okay, freezing temps confirmed. We should go outside.
Okay. So you just marked it off in the journal, right?
Yeah, I marked off freezing temps in the journal. And I also closed the door and shut the lights on the bathroom so we could see better on the camera. So now go ahead and use the computer. Left mouse, like hit the mouse to change the camera, and then spacebar. Oh, nice.
Okay, I see
It's
it.
already on. Also useful. Oh, it just opened the door.
Door open.
Also useful, if you don't have the flashlight in your hands, you can press T to toggle the light.
That is very helpful.
That's a ghost orb. I just saw one. Watch the screen, you might see one.
No, I think that was the flashlight. Or those small
No,
little like
watch for
dust
it.
particles.
It's like a point of light that moves kind of erratically. Yeah, I've been seeing it near the top of the screen. There it was.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Are you
happening.
seeing it?
I don't see anything.
I'm seeing it repeatedly move, like in the top half near the middle of the screen. I see it just appear and float up.
Oh, that? Okay.
That's a ghost orb. Yeah. So now that we have two evidences, we know it's either a revenant, a Yurei, a Hantu, or an Onryo. So if you wanted, you could go read about them in the ghost section of the book, hear what they do. Because we're in relatively easy mode, we can just set up other gear and get like definitive evidence. So let's see what still applies. None of them produce EMF 5, so we don't need to worry about that. And that leaves 4 left. So if it gives us fingerprints, it's a Hantu. If it gives us ghostwriting, it's a revenant. If it gives us dots projector, it's a Yurei. And if it gives us spirit box, it's an Onryo. So let's go ahead and get some gear set up. I just grabbed the book and the dots projector. Why don't you go ahead and grab the glow stick and the spirit box?
Which one's the spirit box?